everyone. So today we're going to do something a little different. Normally when I do my buyer's guides, I do like a picture and I explain a little. So today we're going to do an actual video. And we're going to be talking about the Nintendo 64. So basically you buy a Nintendo, or you're wanting to buy a Nintendo 64, you're wondering what you need for it. Today I'm going to show you everything you need, how much you should pay for, and what games you should buy. So you go out, you find you a Nintendo 64. The first thing you need to make sure is that it has an expansion pack, whether it be black or red, preferably red, because if you have a red expansion pack, you can play basically, or you can play every single game on the Nintendo 64. Some games require you to have that expansion pack. I know there's a Turok game, Majora's Mask, you have to have it. Donkey Kong 64, you have to have that to play it. So it'd just be better off just if you can find one, you'll be better off. You know, you ain't got to worry about, and you don't have to switch them in and out. As long as you have that, you ain't got to put the other one in there. But these can range anywhere from 20 to 15 bucks. Like I said, if you find a system, one already in it, that's perfect. You're already there. So when you look at your game system, you need to make sure that it comes with at least one controller, a power brick, and an AV cord. That's very important. Now, this one's a collector's item. This is part of the Funtastic collection. I have a book somewhere that has all of them, but this is one of them. This is one of the different colors, but black is okay. So if your Nintendo 64 doesn't have controllers, doesn't have that is a bargaining opportunity for you to try to get it cheaper. This system right here can probably go anywhere from 60 to 100 bucks. We paid about 70 for it at Second Charles. We traded in our original black when I got this one. A normal black one shouldn't run you no more than 40, maybe 50 tops. I know that's how much they sell them at Second Charles. I would try to go on Craigslist or OfferUp and see if you can find one a little cheaper than that. Sometimes if they're missing stuff, like I said, they'll bargain with you. Also, make sure you try to find one with games, because if you find one with games, you're already halfway there. So, like I said, the first thing you're going to need, I would go ahead and invest in the expansion pack. The regular one's black, but the expansion pack, like I said, will let you play Donkey Kong 64, Majora's Mask in it, and it just overall heightens the graphics. I know I can notice it. I don't know if you'll be able to notice it, but if you pop a game in and then change the expansion pack out, you can definitely notice a big difference. So the next thing you're going to need is a memory card. Now, these systems do not save automatically. There's only certain cartridges that will automatically save onto the cartridge, which would be the Zelda games, Pokemon games, Donkey Kong, I think does it. But other than that, if you want to play any other game, you're going to need a memory card. This thing does not autosave. You know, these things were made way back then. They just didn't have enough storage on the system. So, you're going to need a memory card. Next, find you a controller that you like. There are different variations of the controllers. This is one that goes with the system, and I'll show you different other variations. So here's another variation or another type of color. Like, they come in all types of colors. We actually got this one from Richard, I believe. They come in black, white. Also, if you're thinking about, make sure you're getting your collection, make sure it's legitimate. Make sure it has Nintendo on it. If it does not have Nintendo, then it is an off-brand. Which some off-brands are okay to have. This is another type of variation. This is a newer one. They're made like most controllers. This is actually my favorite one. I actually don't prefer the Nintendo 64 one just because I'm older and I have big-ass hands. So this stretches it. Like I said, it's more like, if I had to compare it, I'd compare it to a PlayStation controller. Because you got your joystick on one side, you got your buttons on the other. So, I mean, that's one type of variation. So, you got your controllers down, you got your expansion pack, you got your memory card. So now, what games should you get? You know, really depending on what games you should get, depends on if you're going to be playing with other people, if you're going to be playing by yourself. And what do you like? Do you like Mario? Do you like Pokemon? Are you into Zelda? Do you like sports? And some sports games on the Nintendo 64 are fun, but I thought I would kind of do like a top 10, but there's so many top 10 lists and they're so overrated. So I thought what I would do is I would do my top 10 from my childhood and what I like, and hopefully maybe you go pick these up, or if you've already played them and you like them. I'm not really sure when they came out. Like I said, I just play them. So if I don't give a good information, I apologize. But these are my top 10. What I would recommend day one buy. All right, so the first one I'm gonna recommend, and the reason why I recommend this is because you can do so much with this game. There's mini games. Believe it or not, you can actually. It's a Pokemon Stadium 2, so you got all your different types of Pokemon. You can actually get a Game Boy connector that goes into the bottom of your controller, and I actually have one. I have one in here. So I have Pokemon Stadium 2 in the box. And this is what it looks like. You take your Game Boy Pokemon game, put it in here, and you can play your Pokemon games. And you can do this on Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2. But I recommend Pokemon Stadium 2 just because of the fact that there's more mini games. There's you can go in between red and gold, so that's Pokemon Color and that's Game Boy Color and regular Game Boy. So, if you use Pokemon Stadium 1, you can only play Game Boy games. You can't play Game Boy Color. So if you do it through here, you're good to go. Like I said, and there's just way more to do in this game. Like I said, you got mini games. You got like a school you can go to. It teaches you about different types of Pokemon. You can do battles, and I think there's actually a storyline. And there's also another really cool thing. It's called Misty's Gift. If anyone's played Pokemon Gold and Silver, you know what I'm talking about. I think once you beat the game, you get it. Every week, Misty will give you something. But you have to have this and this to be able to connect and be able to get that Misty's Gift. And you can get anything from a doll for your house, a potion, a master. I think you can even get a Master Ball, but it really just depends. But that's one right there. Put that right there, yeah. Okay, so the second one I'm going to recommend is Battle Tanks Global Assault. The way this game is basically, I'm not really too familiar on the storyline. It's like post-apocalyptic. You're this guy and this girl, you end up having a kid, and you have these powers, and you have different factions, and basically they steal your kid and you have to get him back, if I remember the storyline correctly. But basically you're in a tank. You're not walking around, anything like that. You're basically in a tank, and there's different variations. And it's just an overall fun game. I mean, that's really all I can explain about it. They have a multiplayer mode where you can, you have these little princesses, and each base will have one. And I remember there was numerous times where I played with my brother, and we'd steal each other's princess and run back and forth, or we do battle mode. It's just fun. Like, so I really can't explain it. You're in a tank, blow shit up. What more could you want? It's got the multiplayer factor, and it's got the single player. So, and that's made by 3DO, and 3DO makes some really good games. And here's another one from 3DO, would be Iron Man Star Heroes 2. This has got to be my top favorite game. If I showed you my PlayStation 1 collection, you would see I have just about every Iron Man game. That's one of my collector things that I'm eventually do is get all the 3DO games. But that would be another one I would recommend. Basically, you're Sarge, I think that's his name, and you're fighting the Tan Army. I think his name is Plastro. So it's just really fun, just humorous, just a little toy. So, if you're thinking about maybe letting your kids play, I know my niece and nephew love this game. Like I said, they got the fun multiplayer where you can shoot each other. And it's just all out fun. And it also has a single player, and it does have a really good storyline. So that's that one. Man, I gotta stop saying Anyways, the next one I recommend is another shooter. I'm trying to cover all platformers, RPG, stuff like that. So here's a shooter. Turok 2 Sins of Evil. This was actually the very first game I got with our Nintendo 64 that we got for Christmas. And that's why I love it. And it's just the fact that it has a really good storyline. This one also does have multiplayer. And the reason why it's so memorable to me is when we got the game, we didn't know nothing about Nintendo 64. And they have a multiplayer where you can be a monkey and you can be Turok or a dinosaur. And basically it's tag. So if you're the monkey, you're it. I basically have to kill you or tag you. And we played that for 2 months and never knew there was a storyline. Until I went to school, one of my friends said, hey, you got this game? I said, yeah. He goes, well, there's a storyline. I was like, well, really? And I went home and finally played it. So we basically thought that was the whole game. And they do have a Turok game called Rage Wars, and it's nothing but multiplayer. It's like I can't remember the game, but you basically do frags and stuff like that where you kill each other. But that's just why it's memorable to me. So there's that one. The next one I'd recommend, this is a racer. Y'all all probably going to be like, what the hell, why didn't you do Mario Kart? But it was either between Mario Kart or Snowboard Kids. But I'm a rareware guy, so this would be my favorite. Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong Racing. It's got all your favorite racers in it, and I like this one because you can choose between a plane, a hover, a bike, or a car. And also, it's got one of my favorite Nintendo characters in it. I'm not a Mario guy. Sorry. I grew up on Banjo-Kazooie. And Banjo-Kazooie and Conker is actually where they made their first debut in this game. Conker the Squirrel, and then you have just Banjo, which eventually ended up being Banjo-Kazooie. And that's another reason why I really like this game. But there's a racer. Like I said, you can use Diddy Kong. I don't think Donkey Kong is in it. I don't think Trixie, or whatever her name is in it. But you get some good characters, like I said, the plane. You get the race. There's also a battle mode. There's a balloon pop mode like Mario Kart. So there's that one. Another game that I really enjoyed is Yoshi's Story. I mean, it's just all out, just simple, just playing around fun. Basically, you have these 4 Yoshis, and you have to eat fruit to win the level. And basically, it's all around the screen. At the beginning, you pick what fruit you want, and that's the fruit you have to collect through the whole game. And each level you beat, it basically turns the page. And I think the whole gist of it is there's like some kind of evil that came to the island, and you basically have to get rid of it with happiness, which is kind of weird. But anyways, another good game to pick up. Ooh, we're starting to whittle down. Another Pokemon game. A lot of people didn't like this game. I don't know why, but I really liked it. If you're looking for a game, you just want to sit around and not really do nothing. I mean, you're already sitting around not doing nothing anyway, but you want kind of laid back, not too stressful. Pokemon Snap is a good one. So basically, you play as Snap, is the guy's name, and your mission is to catalog and record Pokemon for Professor Oak. And there's basically you take pictures. That's it. That's all you do. He scores you on your different pictures. And another really cool thing is back in the day, you could actually, if you rented this from Blockbuster or you had your own copy, you could take pictures of your Pokemon, and then you could take this to Blockbuster, put it in the machine, and you could actually print pictures out, like little photo booth pictures of you with your Pokemon or just your Pokemon, and you can add it to a book. I actually got the book down there, the Pokemon Snap Strategy Guide, which I don't know why you need a strategy guide to take pictures, but in there you can add your pictures and catalog your Pokemon. So that's really cool. Let's see what else we got. Oh yeah. So these are going to be my last 2. So obviously you have to have a fighter. You're gonna kill me for this, but like I said, most lists are all generic. They're all the same. Ooh, Super Smash Brothers. So I didn't want to go generic. I want to go with the games that I remember growing up. And one of my favorite fighters, it was either between Mortal Kombat or this, and I think this game really took the cake, and I really like this game. So it's called Clay Fighters. There's different variations. If you ever find a copy of Clay Fighters Sculptor's Cut, that game is worth a lot of money. So it says $24 on here, but I think I only paid maybe like $10 for it. And you get Earthworm Jim. I don't know if anybody knows that. You get to play with him. So basically, you just some clay guys fighting, beating each other's ass. So the last game I'd recommend is, and this one's a little pricey on the high end, depending on whether you get it in the box or a cartridge or you get the gold cartridge. I really would love for it to be Majora's Mask, but I don't have it. So if I had Majora's Mask, that would be the number 1 game I'd recommend, just because of the fact of that game wasn't well received back in the day. A lot of kids did not like the 3-day cycle, or they couldn't understand it, and they died a lot. So if you're just getting into it, this would be the first one I'd recommend that you play, and it's an all-time classic. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I remember the first time I borrowed this from my friend and I played it and I just fell in love with it. And actually, this is the very first Zelda game I've ever played. And this is what got me into it. And if you've seen most of my other videos, you can see some of my Zelda stuff. I mean, my wife got me that. I'm a freaking Zelda nut. Love Zelda. I played just about all of them, but I would definitely recommend this. You don't have to get it in the box. You can just get a cartridge of it. But in this game, I mean, it just has really cool stories. Like, I think when this first came out, there was a monk chant inside the Spirit Temple, and there's also a monk symbol on the mirror shield. And a lot of the monk communities or Muslim communities got pissed off about it. And so what Nintendo did was they said, "Hey guys, if you send your cart back, we're gonna give you a limited edition gold cartridge." So if you see the gold cartridge, that's why it's special edition. So if you really think about it, the gold cartridge isn't anything special. It was just Nintendo fixing up their fuck up. So basically, you get a gold cart and you give them the other one back. So if you ever find, and I think most of them have been destroyed, but if you ever find a Zelda cart with the monk symbol on the mirror shield, and then in the Spirit Temple, if you listen to the chant, and you can look this up, this is true. If you listen to the chant and it has the sacred monk chant, that cartridge is worth a lot. I think it was kind of like the Turok Rage Wars. There's a gray cartridge. If you find the Turok Rage Wars gray cartridge, let me show you what it looks like. That's Turok Rage Wars. If you find a gray cart of that, it's worth a shitload of money because of the fact that it had so many bugs, and Nintendo fucked up again and said, "Hey, we screwed up. So we'll send you a special edition black cartridge if you give us the old one back." And it ended up being a defect, and that's why it's rare. But just a little bit of more information if you didn't know that. But so those will be the games I would recommend day one. If you like this video, you like how I did it, please leave a comment below. If there's something you didn't like that I didn't do or something I didn't add, let me know. Like I said, I do like when y'all let me know stuff, and it helps the video grow, helps me grow, helps me do my videos a little bit better. What would be the next game system you want to see me do in my video? Whether it be PlayStation, GameCube, Super Nintendo. As you can see, I have a bunch of stuff. If you want to see me do like a top 10, or maybe you want to see some gameplay. But like I said, right now I'm doing this all from my phone. I don't really have a lot of devices to do it, but I'm trying to get on it and bring y'all some of that good game quality. Question of the day. What would be your number one Nintendo 64 game? If you could only pick one, what would be that one all-time favorite game that you just look and you just look at? Like, I just look at the box and it just, memories come back, like, of my childhood. So what is that one-time favorite Nintendo 64 game that just brings back those wonderful childhood memories? Leave it down in the comment. Let's say 50 likes. If I can get 50 likes, I'll do my next video with my shirt off. 50 likes. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow me on YouTube. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch, where I stream daily. I think the next game, we just finished Dishonored, so the next game we're going to be doing is BioShock Infinite. So that should be fun. A bunch of racial shit in that game. Anyways, alright guys, thanks. Y'all have a wonderful day.